What's up, Doc? I'm Pugs Bunny, and welcome back to Marvel Mondays. Today, we're going to go through the 5th issue of Marvel Sagas, the official history of the Marvel Universe. We will get to see the origin of Angel, Iceman, and Loki, alongside the outcome of Dr. Doom's plan to drag the Fantastic Four to space in their very own Baxter building. We'll see some of the misadventures of the Hulk, and the birth of the Frightful Four. Now, without spoiling any more of it, if you want some context, I strongly advise you go watch our previous video because we pick up right where we left off with Dr. Doom's plan to eject the Baxter building into space. I hope you enjoy. Feel free to comment what your favorite story is, or whatever wacky, exciting stories you'd like me to cover, whether it be Marvel or DC. Now, with all that out of the way, let's dive into Marvel Saga, the official history of the Marvel Universe, issue number 5, Terror in the Skies. It is a day early in the careers of Reed Richards, Ben Grimm, Susan, and Johnny Storm as the superheroes known as the Fantastic Four. Their foe, Prince Namor the Submariner, has planted within their headquarters, the Baxter Building, the means by which his ally, Dr. Doom, intends to destroy the Quartet. Suspicious Richards, who leads the team as Mr. Fantastic, had the rest of the building evacuated, yet he could not find the hidden weapon. But before Namor can leave the building with team member Susan Storm, the Invisible Girl, whom he loves, Doom springs the trap and the Baxter building is pulled high above Manhattan. We're now thousands of feet above the city and going higher. At this rate, we've only minutes left before we reach the upper atmosphere. What has Dr. Doom to do with this, Submariner? The double-crossing dog is in a rocket plane above, pulling this building into space. But how? How is he doing it? There is a control panel in his plane attracting a magnetic grabber, which I planted in a dark corner of the basement. Then our only hope of ever getting down is to seize control of that plane. The air is getting mighty thin. We'll perish from lack of oxygen before we can take any action. Even as Richards and Grimm, the monstrous thing, glower at the Submariner, the building rises even closer to the edge of outer space. Namor and Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, Sue's brother, are unable to fly to safety because within brief moments, the building is so high up there is not enough air to sustain the torch's flaming power or for Namor's wings to push against. Meanwhile, Dr. Doom draws his victims into the ionosphere and closer to the twilight edge of space. The windows in our portion of the building are strong enough to hold in the remaining air to us for a short while. Ha 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 ha! Who can doubt the genius of Dr. Doom now? My plan is working without a hitch. I managed to snare the only beings capable of blocking my ambition to rule the entire world. Submariner never guessed he was included in that group. Now, he's as helpless as the rest of them. The thinning air inside the building forces its 5 occupants to don oxygen helmets. The thing takes his anger out over Namor's treachery by attacking the Submariner. The Battle of Titans is cut short by the voice of Dr. Doom. Greetings, my crusading friends. To those of you who are still alive to hear these words, I can tell you that we are near the close of this little journey. But before I part with your delightful company, I shall set your building on a collision course with the sun, which I am certain will receive you warmly. If you will forgive my little jest. I guess that's it. We're done for. No, we're not. That jackal Dr. Doom still has Prince Namor to reckon with. Is there a water storage tank in the building? Yes, it's on this floor, Submariner, but I don't see what good that will do. The words of resignation fall on deaf ears. Led to the compact water tank, Submariner plunges into its depths. Ah, this feels more like home. I can feel myself growing stronger, doubling my power for this leap in space. I've taken tremendous leaps out of the ocean. Why should I not be able to do it now, when I dare not fail? The Submariner can breathe both on land and underwater, but it is the sea that is his true home. Contact with water renews and increases his already vast strength, enabling him to perform incredible feats. And when he is ready, don't do it, Submariner. I tracked a meteor swarm heading this way. It means certain death. Despite Reed's warning, Namor presses ahead, his superhuman constitution enabling him to withstand the rigors of space. And now, the word is, go! 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 Submariner's extraordinary strength and agility enables him to leap safely all the way to Doom's spaceship. Fired with a desire for revenge on the man who betrayed him, the Submariner pounds his way into Doom's spaceship. In the rush of events, perhaps Namor does not even notice the irony that he now battles to save the Fantastic Four, his sworn foes. Namor pounds his way through the spaceship's hull into its interior. His vast strength enables him to hold safely onto the hull as the air from within explodes outward. Then, part of the damaged hull collapses, carrying Namor inside the ship with it. Now, if I can only break into the pilot's cabin before Dr. Doom makes his next move, I'm sure he knows I'm in the ship. Suddenly, 1,000 great hammer blows of electricity smash into the Sea Monarch, hurling him back into the darkness. Meanwhile, on the other side of the steel wall, Dr. Doom listens for sounds of movement. I don't hear a thing. That's the end of Submariner. His attempt to stop me was the last. Now, all I have to do is push down this lever and break contact with the building. Slowly but surely, it will spiral into the sun, taking with it the rest of my enemies. Oh, I can't touch anything. The old cabin is charged with electricity. And here's the rest of it, full blast. You didn't kill me with that electric charge. I absorbed it, stored it, and now I'm returning it. Ah! Gotta get out of here before Dr. Doom flings open a floor escape hatch. The outrushing air literally explodes him away from the ship into the vast, cold reaches of space. Namor, like a short duration electrical capacitor, can absorb electricity within limits for a very brief moment, and then discharge it. He suffers great pain in the process, but his vast strength enables him to endure it. Doom, caught unprepared, can offer no resistance. His armor may afford him some protection from the terrors of space, but to what avail? 4. His high rate of speed carries him into the course taken by the meteor swarm. Instinctively, he reaches out for support and frantically clutches a speeding meteor. The rocky space wanderer streaks onward, unmindful of its human rider, unmindful of the loneliness of its never-ending journey. Eternity is a long, long time, and Dr. Doom, who has coveted all of the Earth, now has all of eternity to scheme in a much larger domain, the universe itself. Wow, man, that's deep. Yet, this is not truly the end of Dr. Doom. In time, he will return, and the Fantastic Four will eventually learn from bitter experience that Doom has an uncanny talent for escaping certain death. But for the moment, Doom is gone, and Namor is able to take over the controls of the ship. Strangely enough, he returns the Fantastic Four to Earth. Is he merely trying to save Sue? Or does he feel a bond with these former enemies of his? Perhaps not even Namor knows the answer. Back on Earth, the hour is late, the dark streets deserted on Skyscraper Row, and the stray individuals who later witnessed the silent return of the Baxter Building from the skies write it off as a bad dream. A hallucination resulting from the anxieties that plague our nuclear society. But, to the Fantastic Four, the sight of the city is a miracle greater than their incredible experience. We're home! Home! The Submariner in Dr. Doom's spaceship has guided the building back to its foundation. Thanks to him, we're alive. Well, thanks to him, y'all were almost dead too. Do you think an enemy? Submariner's somewhere above us in that confounded ship, and if I could reach him, I still don't know if I'd shake his hand or try to smash him. Oh, he isn't our enemy. I just know it. He's so full of pain and bitterness that it blinds his better instincts. Submariner needs time. Time to heal. From the spaceship, Namor triggers a signal that causes the small but immensely powerful grabber cylinder to fly from the Baxter Building out over the seas. Sometime later in a remote latitude, the cylinder homes in on the spaceship piloted by the Submariner. Then, when it is inside the ship, Prince Namor sends the vehicle into a spin and hurtles from it. The sea will make a fit resting place for the works of Dr. Doom. They will lie where they can do no further harm. So shall I return to the sea. Perhaps someday, when I am no longer haunted by bitter memories of my lost people, I may return. But until then, this is where I belong. In the sea, which is my home. The Submariner will clash with the Fantastic Four several more times, but Sue is right about Namor. His attitude towards the surface world's people will finally change so much that he will become a member of a team of their protectors, the mighty Avengers. Ironically too, years later, a young boy brainwashed to believe himself to be Dr. Doom will pull the Baxter building into outer space once again. Oh my god, it's gonna happen again. And this time destroy it. Although the Fantastic Four will escape unharmed, but all that is in years in the future. So, a little tangent. I wish it wouldn't just keep dropping these little bits of what is to come if you're just gonna show us eventually. That's the whole point of Marvel Saga, is to go over the history. You don't have to tell us what to expect, but it's the 80s. I'm not gonna harp on it too much. Now the scene shifts to private school for children of society's elite, where a teenager named Warren Worthington III has put himself at the top of his class. Man, look at him go! He's sure to win his letter for soccer. Which makes him 5-letter man. He's the best on campus, and he knows it better than anybody else. Unfortunately, he even pulls down top marks in everything. No wonder he thinks he's better than everybody. I don't know how much better he is, but he sure is different. The jealous students get even by mocking one of Warren's differences. Here's something else he's number one at. He's got the biggest shoulder blades in the world. Get a load of them. Only a night or two later, Warren discovers how different he truly was. Wow, where do you suppose this came from? It's too big to be from my pillow, and the mattress is foam rubber. Matter of fact, this thing looks big enough to be off of an eagle or a vulture. And going into the mirror, Warren makes a chilling discovery. Wings! Got wings! I gotta get out of here before the administration finds out about them. They turned me over to the biolab as a guinea pig. Thank heaven they're so small and so useless. You got little chicken wings. But Warren's mutant wings would grow rapidly from then on, to his great dismay. While Warren Worthington must try to come to terms with this horrifying change in his body, in the American Southeast, General Thunderbolt Ross is launching a new scheme to end the menace of the Hulk. My men will find Rick Jones, and you can count on it. And when they do, we'll get the Hulk. He won't escape us again, I swear. Ross has learned that the teenager Rick Jones is a friend of the Hulk's, and he has devised a way of tricking Jones into betraying the super strong monster. Cool it, mister. Nothing can make me rat on the Hulk. Look, son, this is bigger than you or me. This involves the security of the United States. Out there, on the launching pad, is America's newest, most important missile. It must be tested, but there isn't a man living who could stand the force of its G-pull, except the Hulk. We want the Hulk to ride the rocket, in the interest of national security. No one else can do it. Now, what do you say? Naively trusting the general, young Rick goes alone to the hidden cavern where the Hulk is imprisoned. Only Rick knows the Hulk is really scientist Bruce Banner, who has Rick lock him away there every night before his unwilling transformation into the savage monster. And so, a short time later, after convincing himself that the troops have not followed him, and that the secret of this hidden cavern will remain his secret, Rick Jones sets out to free the Hulk. I couldn't explain to them that I can't control the Hulk. When he gets free, who knows what he'll do? Slowly, nervously, the teenager releases the mighty shaft which holds the concrete door in place. But even before he finishes, the pounding is getting louder. With a surge of unbelievable power, the mightiest man-thing on Earth shatters the half-loosened door as he comes thundering out of his dungeon. I'm free! Rick manages to evade the Hulk's grasp long enough to lure him to Ross's rocket. Luckily, the Hulk has not yet discovered his ability to leap great distances. Otherwise, Rick could have never escaped him. You, boy, you lock me in cell. You pay for that now. If he gets a hold of me, I'm a goner. He's following me up the gantry. If I make one false move now, I'll be cuttins. Thinking Rick is inside, the Hulk enters the cabin, which seals shut behind him. It worked. I sure hope I did the right thing, betraying him this way. Even before the hatch door completely closes, the missile blasts off, giving the Hulk no time to escape before he finds himself many miles above Earth's surface. So the enraged Hulk stays inside the missile, but as the rocket shoots into the daylight side of Earth, the Hulk is exposed to sunlight, and it is in the presence or absence of sunlight that triggers the Hulk's transformations in these early days. Sunlight, the one element that brings out the most astonishing change on Earth, the change of the Hulk, back again into the form of Dr. Bruce Banner. Where am I? Well, what happened? But before the dazed scientist can fully come to his senses, the unshielded spaceship enters a vast radiation belt. The radiation is of a different sort than gamma rays that first transformed Bruce Banner into the Hulk. But as Banner is helplessly bathed in the intense radiation, he desperately wonders whether it will wreak further monstrous changes on him. Meanwhile, back at Ross's headquarters, Rick learns the true purpose of the missile flight, the destruction of the Hulk. But the observant teenager has also found out where the abort switch is that will cause Banner's capsule to return to Earth. Don't worry about the Hulk returning. That missile is on a flight to infinity, and it's just a one-way journey. It was a trap. They tricked me. It was the only way they could remove the menace of the Hulk. But I can't let them do it. They don't realize that he isn't just an inhuman monster to be destroyed by any means. He's Bruce Banner. I've got to save him. Here's the missile control panel. This is my chance. No one's looking. At that split second, just as Rick Jones touches the control switch, the unbelievable amount of radiation which the ship had absorbed causes a shock to travel the many miles back to Earth. An electric shock which will link the Hulk and Rick Jones more closely together than ever before. Ow! Despite the shock, Jones succeeds in bringing the capsule back down. Rick goes to the nearby site where the capsule will land, but its parachutes fail to slow its descent enough to safeguard a human passenger. It's daylight now. Bruce Banner will be in the capsule instead of the Hulk. He'll never be able to survive a crash landing. Oh, it's too late. But at that moment, the Hulk? How? Due to the further effects of radiation on his body, Bruce Banner has for the first time become the Hulk during daylight hours. But the bestial creature is far from pleased at Rick's part in nearly killing him. As effortlessly as a man would lift a cardboard box, the mighty Hulk lifts the wrecked space capsule and... Your fault! All your fault! I gotta run. Gotta get away. Now! Revenge! No! Stay back! Please, stop! Huh? He stopped. He's standing still. Motionless. I said stop and he stopped. And after Rick does some brief experimentation, it's impossible, but it's true. He obeys me, my every command. Somehow, the radiation in space and Jones' electrical shock link the minds of Rick and Hulk. Now Rick can control the Hulk's every action. Thus, the menace posed by the Hulk seems to be over. Relieved, Rick decides to get some well-earned sleep. Stay there, Hulk, while I get some shut-eye. Don't move, understand? Don't move. But he learns on awakening that he loses control of the Hulk when he goes to sleep. I'm just in time. There he is. He's going on a rampage. Rick orders the Hulk to leave, and gathering the awe-stricken lad in one massive arm, the Hulk leaps into the air. But it is a leap the like of which has never before been seen by mortal man. A leap which carries him over the top of the tallest building. A leap propelled by the most powerful muscles of any living thing on Earth. We're flying! They return to Banner's hidden cavern, where the Hulk enters the specially designed cell while Rick worries about a new problem. There. You'll be safe there, for a while, until I can figure out how to turn you back to Dr. Banner. That is, if I ever can. Then Rick must stand guard over the Hulk all night, lest he lose control of the monster once again. I did it! Oh, I managed to stay awake all night. So the Hulk didn't have a chance to run wild. But what do I do now? I gotta find a place to get some food to wash up. The Hulk will be safe enough here as long as I stay awake. Guess I'll go visit my Aunt Polly. She doesn't live far from here. After visiting his aunt, Rick sees a poster that strikes his fancy. Hey, nothing I like better than a circus. He's got bigger problems on his plate, but why not? Man needs some time to himself. This, Rick thinks, is just what he needs to take his mind off his troubles. But little does he know about this small-time circus is actually a cunning criminal operation, masterminded by a recent Austrian expatriate, Menard Tybalt, better known to us today as the Ringmaster of Crime. The Ringmaster is the son of Fritz Tybalt, the Ringmaster of Death, a Nazi spy whose circus served as a cover for assassins in the 1940s. The original Ringmaster was defeated by Captain America and deported to his native Austria. After the war, Fritz Tybalt and his wife ran a small circus in Europe and raised their son Maynard to be its ringmaster. But then, Maynard's parents were murdered by Nazis seeking vengeance for their post-war testimony against war criminals. Fleeing to America, he had tried to start over, but every venture had failed under competition from larger, more commercial entertainments. And thus, out of survival, he had formed a more specialized troupe, the Circus of Crime, and with the aid of a unique, hat-mounted hypnosis disc, he had begun what he had hoped would be a more lucrative career. The hypnotic disc was based on the Nolotron, a mind control device used during the war by the Nazi Red Skull. And so, Rick Jones attends the Ringmaster's latest performance. Ladies and gentlemen, I, the Ringmaster, personally welcome you to the greatest show of all. Watch me closely every minute. Do not take your eyes off me for a second, and I guarantee that you will see wonders such as you have never seen before. You are about to witness our miraculous main attraction. Don't take your eyes off me for a minute. Watch and behold. Note the spinning lines on my hat, the stars on my jacket, the lines, the stars. See them spin round and round. See them spin, spin. It is over. I have bent them all to my will, just as I have done in those other towns we visited. They are all asleep. They cannot move nor speak. Now go, my performers, go and give another one of your finest performances. What a pity, none will be awake to applaud you. Minutes later, the Ringmaster's hirelings roam through the audience at will, looting and robbing their helpless victims. Hope you're enjoying the show, mister. This is how the Ringmaster commits his crimes. After his troupe loots the audience, the Ringmaster releases them from his spell and continues the show. The audience will have no memory of being robbed and will not discover their losses until they get home, and until the Ringmaster and his circus have left town. And this time, among his helpless victims, the Ringmaster unwittingly numbers one teenage boy, a boy who has the Hulk to command. I can't move, can't speak. He's hypnotized us all. But Rick Jones is not helpless, not so long as he has the power to think. I'm beginning to feel numb. My brain is getting clouded. I've got to call the Hulk before I black out. Come to me, Hulk. Help! Come, Hulk. But can he hear my thoughts from so far away? He must. He must. And he does. Boy in danger. Must go to him. But since the Hulk is under Rick's control, and Rick is in a trance, neither asleep nor awake, and thus unable to give the Green Goliath orders, the Ringmaster is able to capture the monster with surprising ease and transport him to a distant town. And a day later, the Ringmaster prepares to open a new show in a new village with a startling new feature exhibit. We'll bill him as the monster of the age. The suckers won't be able to resist coming to see the big ape. Ringmaster, you're a genius. But then two FBI agents appear, and Rick, worried over the Hulk, has come with them.
Ringmaster, you're under arrest. This is the FBI.
We followed you from town to town, and now we've got you.
Your victims told us everything when we snapped them out of your spell.
Never mind that. Where's the Hulk? You're traveling with a live bomb. The sound of Rick's voice snaps the Hulk out of his lethargic state. In rage, he breaks free of his chains and charges his captors. Run! The monster is loose! Help! Save me! Don't let him beat me! Hulk, let him go! Put him down! Despite his white-hot wrath, the Hulk has no choice but to obey the teenager who is his master, as heavily armed troops from the nearby command post burst upon the scene. On the doubleman. Where is he? Where's the Hulk? And right behind these troops is the implacable General Ross. Stand aside, boy. That creature must be stopped before it's too late. No, you can't. He ain't just a creature. He's... I can't tell you what he is, but nobody's shooting him. Ah! Up, Hulk. Upright. Through the tent. Look, he's flying. Nothing can stop him now. The Hulk is, of course, leaping, not flying, and he quickly escapes the troops. You did it, Hulk. We're free. You're safe, but for how long? You won't escape me forever. Do you hear me, Hulk? I'll track you down to the ends of the earth. I'll rid this world of your menace, no matter what. I swear it, Hulk. I swear it! But many years have since passed, and Ross has yet to put an end to the menace of the Incredible Hulk despite their many battles. There are other superhuman beings in existence, including ones who have lived for ages and been worshipped by Earth's people as gods. Weeks before the Hulk encountered the Ringmaster, Dr. Donald Blake discovered that he could become the Norse thunder god Thor, and yet he does not remember his past life among the other gods. But now his bitterest foe among these deities is about to return. Beyond our segment of time and space, there exists Asgard, the citadel of the Norse gods, which is connected to Earth by a rainbow bridge called Bifrost. And in a remote part of Asgard, there stands a tree, in which is imprisoned Loki, the god of mischief. Long ago, the gods condemned me to be trapped within this tree. Here am I, destined to remain until my plight causes someone to shed a tear. But no inhabitant of Asgard will weep for me, for I am hated by all. However, for years I have been imposing my will upon this tree, until at last I can control it. Ah, Heimdall, the wanderer of Bifrost approaches. Having become master of the tree, the villainous Loki commands one of its leaves to break off and fall down into the eye of the passing deity, the impact of which causes Heimdall's eye to smart and shed a tear. I have succeeded. Because of my plight, I was able to gain control of this tree, and thus I was able to affect Heimdall's eye. Therefore, my plight did indeed cause him to shed a tear. And now, by my cunning wit, I am at last free to cause mischief, to create discord, and to seek revenge against the one responsible for my capture, Thor, the Thunder God. The origin of Loki took place long ages before. Back then, Loki, king of the giants of Jotunheim, went to war with Odin, father of Thor and monarch of the gods of Asgard. Odin yields to no one. Let the battle begin. After a tremendous battle, the Asgardians defeated the giants, and Loki was slain. In exploring the giant's fortress, Odin discovered an infant hidden within a bundle. Of course, it is Loki, son of Loki, the child he kept hidden, for his heart was filled with shame that Loki was not born a giant, as were the other offsprings of Jotunheim. Loki, the very name has a ring of evil, a tinge of foreboding to it. Mayhap, but still he is a regal prince, son of a kingly father. I must accord him his rightful due. Hear me, legions of Asgard. From this moment hence, I proclaim Loki, son of Odin, half-brother of my well-beloved Thor. For better or for worse, Loki is forevermore an immortal of Asgard. This have I proclaimed, so be it. So it was that Odin raised Loki alongside the young Thor, but even as a child, Loki resented Thor and the way everyone, including Odin, favored Thor over him. From early childhood on, Loki had studied the use of black magic, for which he had a natural affinity. One day, the young god secretly cast a spell during a tournament to destroy the weapon of Ullr, whom Thor greatly admired. But Ullr and the others easily deduced who was guilty. You know the rules about interfering with the tournament, Loki. Why do you speak only to my brother? We know that you would not have done so base a deed, young Thor. Yet Thor gallantly shared the blame, further winning the accuser's respect, and Loki's enmity. It was a hate that would grow and grow with time. How they bow and scrape before him, giving him the due that should be mine. I cannot bear the sight. On behalf of Loki and myself, I crave your forgiveness, noble lords. Granted, young nobleman, you and Loki are free to depart. Blast him. He defeats me at everything. See how he rides, smiling, a song on his lips, forever unbeaten. There's a bridge ahead, Loki. Faster. Try harder. I'm racing away from you. I shall try harder. I shall devote my life to gaining the most power in Asgard. And I know that sooner or later, in order to attain my goal, Thor must be destroyed. As they grew older, Thor sought to perform brave feats that would prove himself worthy of the enchanted hammer Odin planned to give him. Loki pretended to help Thor. See, here it is. If the evil ones find the unguarded opening, they will overrun our land. But if you guard it well, you will certainly come closer to having earned Odin's hammer. Loki, you have done me a service which I shall not soon forget. But Loki, wanting the hammer for himself, had decided to kill Thor by luring him into an ambush. Trusting fool, I know you won't soon forget this, for it is I who made that hole, and it is I who told the evil ones it is there, so that they will come and defeat you. And then it will be Loki's turn to try to win the enchanted hammer. The young Thor found himself greatly outnumbered by many foes, and overpowered by mystic forces. Well done, hag. He is trapped. Nothing that lives can withstand my dragon's enchanted breath. Thor would have been permanently magically transformed into a tree if Odin and the warriors of Asgard had not heard the sounds of battle and arrived in time to save him. Where are the warriors? In another few minutes, it will be too late for anything to save me. Thor and Loki grew to adulthood. Thor won the right to the magic hammer, while Loki's sorceress abilities grew even greater. One day, the Thunder God led Loki and other warriors in pursuit of the storm giant Gon. But after a fierce battle with the giant, Thor was suddenly unable to find him, as if Gon had disappeared. As if Gon was gone. The storm has vanished without a trace. There's no sight of him. It is as though he never existed. There is no way he could have escaped, except through the aid of a sinister magic spell. But Gon possessed no such mystic powers. And if not he, then who? Determined to make his half-brother fail in his mission, Loki had transformed Gon into a bird. After Thor and his comrades had left the scene, Loki made a mystic gesture and let the giant Gon appear once more. Loki, you have saved me from the vengeance of Thor. I know not what motivates caused you to betray your own kind, but that is no concern of mine. Know you, Loki, that Gon is in your debt. I shall never forget it, gigantic one, and neither shall you. The day will come when I order you to repay this debt. Thus, I have made my first alliance with the forces of evil, with one of those who will come to my aid when I make my final bid to overthrow the rule of Odin, destroy Thor, and seize the throne of Asgard. Indeed, in the many centuries that followed, Loki attempted time and time again. To achieve his three sinister goals. Finally, as punishment for his crimes, An enraged Odin magically imprisoned Loki in that tree. But now, Loki is free, and he hurtles down the Rainbow Bridge that serves as the passageway from Asgard's dimension to Earth's. Well now, my ancient enemy is in for a surprise. Prepare yourself, Thor, for Loki is coming. Wearing earthly clothing, Loki confronts Thor, who, having only recently regained his true form after spending years as the mortal Dr. Blake, does not immediately recognize his half-brother. Greetings, Thor. It has been a long time, hasn't it? A long time? I see you don't remember me. Very well. Perhaps this will refresh your memory. Now, do you recognize me? The god you imprisoned? The god who is your eternal enemy who has come to Earth seeking revenge? Loki. The sight of Loki in Asgardian garb revives Thor's hatred for his evil half-brother, so Thor regains his memory of Loki, and soon, more memories of his past life in Asgard will return as well. Loki uses his powers of sorcery to put Thor under his mystic control. You are in my power. I am your master. You must obey me. I must obey you. I have triumphed. Now to have my revenge, I shall use Thor as my instrument for creating mischief. Descend to Earth, Thor. Yes, Loki. But Loki's next command causes Thor, perhaps for the first time since Blake regained his Thor identity, to recall Odin, and Loki's control is not strong enough to make Thor defy Odin's will. I command you to give me the enchanted hammer. I cannot obey you, Loki. By the will of Odin, the magic weapon must never be wrestled from Thor. Loki is faced with two problems. Thor will not give him his powerful magical hammer, and even if he did, no unworthy living being, certainly not Loki, could lift it. But Loki's cunning quickly devises a solution. I must get the hammer away from him. Wait, I have a plan. I shall conjure up another Thor. In his hypnotic trance, he might just be deceived by the image I've created. Behold, Thor, the mighty, the thunder god. The hammer is his. Give it to him. Yes, Loki. The hammer belongs to Thor. Loki then orders Thor to begin wreaking destruction nearby, but at this time, having not been imprisoned in the tree when Odin gave Thor his Blake identity, does not yet know about the thunder god's mortal identity. Once Thor is out of Loki's sight, he reverts to his mortal form of Don Blake. Until Odin finally put an end to Thor Blake's identity, the thunder god would always turn into the frail doctor if he were separated from his hammer for over 60 seconds. The hypnotic spell which Thor was under has no effect upon the person of Dr. Don Blake. What can be taking Thor so long? Why has he not released the beast? I must manage to touch the hammer again. I don't get it. I can't lift this thing clear off the ground. Phew! I strained every muscle in my arm and still couldn't budge it. Let me try. Are you kidding? We couldn't lift it, so how could a skinny guy like you do it? Let the poor sap try. It'd be good for a laugh. But the instant Don Blake touches the magic hammer, there is a blinding flash of light. My eyes! I can't see! Where'd that skinny guy go? I don't know, but look who's holding the hammer now. It's Thor! Now, Loki, we're gonna finish our battle. You've broken the hypnotic spell! The two brothers fight a battle that rages across New York City, until at last, the Thunder God defeats Loki and carries him to the top of a skyscraper. Why have you tied me to your hammer? No, stop! Don't! I'm sending you back to Asgard, Loki, the fastest way possible. Using the hammer's mystical power to travel through dimensions, Thor hurls it and Loki off to Asgard, where it sweeps down in a great arc before Odin, Balder, Tyr, and the other astonished gods. Odin will take charge of his evil foster son. Farewell, god of mischief. May we never meet again. Behold, it is the hammer of Thor. It brings Loki back to us and returns to its master. Once again, my eldest son, the Lord of Thunder, has vanquished Loki. But whereas Thor now once again remembers Odin and Asgard, he does not yet journey there himself, but in the course of his next adventure, Thor will once more meet his godly father. Back at Warren Worthington's private school, days have passed, and his wings have grown to enormous size. Warren has managed to keep them a secret so far, using strong straps to bind them beneath his clothes. But he has had to isolate himself from other people at school to guard his secret. Dig those crazy wings. They're growing bigger every day. Man, this sure does make me something special. Yeah, specially lonely and specially miserable. Stop kidding yourself, chum. You're a freak. Hey, what's that smell? Smells like smoke. It is smoke. Gotta get out of here. Grab some clothes and scram. Uh-oh, more trouble. The flames have cut off the staircase. Got no choice now. Have to do it the hard way. Out the window. I got some clothes dumped safely, but clothes don't have any bones in them. And I do. Okay, bones, hang loose, cause here we go. The wings. They're slowing my fall. And when I move them, I could fly. And here are the clothes I dropped. Now all I have to do is help! That cry. There are guys still trapped upstairs. I can fly a rope up to them, and I just know where to get one. Only trouble is, they'll see these wings on me. This is no time to worry about my pride. Yep, I knew there was rope in the school theater storeroom. Those theatrical props. That gives me an idea. It's nutty, but so what? A long blonde wig and a night skirt. The guys will never guess the real identity of this angel. Man, do you see what I see? I see it, but I'm not about to believe it. Look at it this way. If the rope breaks, we got our own angel to carry us straight to heaven. That's a really optimistic way to look at it. I don't care if he's for real, so long as the rope is. Hey, it's working. You betcha. Now where's that angel? Gotta thank him. There he goes, flying off. I'm sure glad we all saw him together, or I'd turn myself into the nearest nut factory. Well, everybody's checked in except Warren. Did anybody see him? He's over here, headmaster. Only he missed all the fun. You sure did. We got ourselves saved by a real live angel. Aw, nice. And did Peter Rabbit and Chicken Little come to your party too? Okay, Mr. Wiseacre Worthington, don't believe us, but there is a fabulous character with wings flying around here, and we're gonna find out who it is. So it was that Warren Worthington, who is a superpowered mutant, is inspired to begin a career as the superhero called the Angel. As the Angel, he would become one of the original X-Men, would later join the Champions and the Defenders, and still later become a founding member of the new team called X-Factor. Meanwhile, Dr. Henry Pym has changed his mind about never again using his shrinking serum to become the tiny superhero Ant-Man. Within a few weeks, Pym quickly becomes famous as the Ant-Man for capturing various dangerous criminals, while keeping his true identity secret. During this time, he also finds an easier method of changing size. I've developed my reducing and growth serums in a gas form. It makes it a lot easier to carry them with me. All I have to do now is release the reducing gas and inhale it through my filter. It's working. It's shrinking me to the size of an ant. Editor's note: as Henry Pym shrinks, so does his costume, which consists of unstable molecules that stretch and contract as his own body does. Ant-Man also attracts the attention of the Soviets, who dispatch an agent to America to learn the secret of his size change. Comrade X reporting. Comrade, you are our best espionage agent. Thus, I have selected you to capture the Ant-Man and learn how he is able to change size. But the Ant-Man learns that the dangerous master spy had come to the United States. Using his cybernetic helmet to lead a small army of ants, the Ant-Man tracks Comrade X down. There, the freighter. Let's board her. Weeks ago, the Ant-Man learned that he retains all the strength that he has in his normal size when he shrinks himself. This fact enables him to capture Comrade X, whom he turns over to the authorities. Ooh. And that's the end of Ant-Man's story. Wow, they gave him 5 panels in this issue. I get it, he has the dullest story, but I mean, he actually had a villain this time with a name, and they couldn't bother really doing anything with it. It kind of cut between Comrade X reporting to, oh, Well, anyways, turning our attention back to the Fantastic Four, we see that the Quartet does not stay at peace for very long after escaping destruction at Doctor Doom's hands. Shortly after Ant-Man's defeat of his Soviet foe, the FF encountered a robot that was sent to bring them to the planet Zenith, also known as Planet X. Heed my words, puny Earthlings. I have traveled many light years to find you, and to bring you a message from Kurggo, Master of Zenith. Motivated primarily by curiosity, the FF's leader, Reed Richards, decides to accept the robot's request for help, so the team leaves Earth in the robot starship. After a faster-than-light journey through subspace, the Fantastic Four arrive on the planet Zenith in the Jatscan star system. There, they are brought before Zenith's dictatorial leader, Kurggo. My mission is ended, Master. I have brought the Fantastic Four. Good. Kurggo explains the grave problem facing his people. A rogue asteroid is about to collide with their planet. There is that problem. A runaway asteroid streaking through the skies, about to strike Zenith. And if you, with all your knowledge and powers, cannot find a way to save us, then we will perish together. Reed, what can we do? There's no way to stop a racing asteroid. I knew we shouldn't have come, but nobody listened to me. We're all doomed. Wait, why can't everyone escape in spaceships? Because although we have the secret of space travel, we have never cared to visit other worlds. And so, only 2 large ships have been built. What good are they when the population of Zenith is 5 billion inhabitants? But the ever-resourceful Reed Richards succeeds in finding a solution. Richards is the only other scientist whom the Ant-Man has entrusted with the secret of his reducing formula. Now Richards recreates the reducing gas that Ant-Man himself had only recently developed. Here is the thing that will save us all. This vial is filled with reducing gas. Reducing gas? What nonsense is that? The Earthling asked us to volunteer so that he may demonstrate. Watch, Kurggo, and you'll see what nonsense this is. It is incredible! But what use are such elaborate parlor tricks? How will this save Zenith? The answer is simple. Once the entire population of Zenith is reduced in size, they can all fit aboard one of the large spaceships. Richard's plan is implemented, and the Xanthians prepare to take off for a new home world while the Fantastic Four escape to Earth in the other spaceship. But Kurggo's lust for power gets the better of him just before his fellow Xanthians blast off. Why should I share this enlarging gas with the others? I am the master, and when we reach a new planet, I shall be the only one who grows back to normal size. Maddened by his savage dreams of power, Kurggo lags behind the others, clutching his valuable prize as Zenith crumbles about him. I can't let go of the enlarging gas. I can't. Wait, I can't run to the ship. I can't leave this enlarging gas. I can't give up on my dream of absolute power. Wait, your master commands you. As 5 billion living beings minus 1 streak towards a new home and a new life. I'm your master. Don't you hear? Your master. The Xanthians successfully escape and will resettle on another planet, which they call New Zenith. In another solar system, Kurggo would miraculously survive what seems like certain death, and years later will menace the Thing, but again meet defeat. Another member of the Fantastic Four, Johnny Storm, the teenage Human Torch, begins a solo career as a crime fighter soon after the team returns to Earth. The Torch's first major success is using his flame power to capture the Soviet spy called the Destroyer. There he is, the Russians' contact man, the Destroyer. Get him! Yes, it is I, but you'll never take me alive. As for you, Torch, your days of meddling are over. That's what you think, mister. My gun, it's melting. A news cameraman comes along with the Torch and records the Destroyer's defeat on film. Much of the American public thrills to see these new superheroes such as the Torch in action. And soon, the film of the Torch's victory is even being shown in movie theaters. And when the Destroyer was caught, he tried to shoot his way to freedom, but the Torch melted the gun before he could ever fire it. Boy, I'll bet there's nobody who can defeat the Torch. That fire guy is the greatest crime fighter in the world. But one film goer reacts quite differently. Although he is one of the most famous men, his real name is rarely used. Everyone simply calls him the Wizard in tribute to his great genius. My God, look at that face. Hey, you know who he is? Holy cow, it's the Wizard. The Human Torch is indeed mighty. It will be interesting to match my powers against his. So this page is a little scuffed up, but I'm going to do my best to read what I think this is supposed to say. The Wizard's greatest talents lie in his mastery brilliance, as demonstrated by the fully automated, futuristic mansion he built for himself. Only superior intellects such as I could have designed so ultra-modern a home. But the Wizard is also a showman who delights in dazzling the public with exhibitions of his many intellectual talents, from inventing to chess to stage magic. But now, the Wizard's thunder has been stolen by these new superheroes with their amazing powers, so the Wizard now has a new challenge. Yes, I have proven my mental superiority in countless ways. There is only one challenge left for me: to defeat the Human Torch. That will be my ultimate achievement. First, the Wizard announces his plans to test his new, nuclear-powered borer ship for tunneling underground. What kind of drill is that? A new atomic-powered type. The Wizard built it just for this project. Look, he's starting to dig. But then, the Wizard fakes placing himself in danger, intending that the Human Torch can be summoned to rescue him. Good lord, the supports have broken. The Wizard's trapped down there. Thank heavens you came. In another couple of minutes, I would have collapsed from lack of oxygen. Of course, the Wizard has plenty of air and supplies with him, but when the torch melts his way underground to save him, the Wizard pretends to be near death. In seeming gratitude, the Wizard invites the torch to his mansion. There, while showing the torch one of his inventions, the Wizard springs his trap, drenching the torch in a solution that extinguishes most of his flame. What? And now, Torch, you're mine. Ha 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 ha. The Wizard locks the helpless Torch in an asbestos-walled room and reveals his plan: to use his scientific wizardry to impersonate the Torch and frame him as a criminal. You must have flipped your cork. You can't keep me in here. Open up. It's useless to protest. I am your mental superior, and I'm going to defeat you. Nothing can stop me. Nothing. The disguised Wizard goes on a criminal reign of terror. He's leaving! There's not a thing we can do to stop him! And I never thought I'd see the day when the Human Torch would turn bank robber. It's going perfectly so far. Once he thus ruins the Torch's reputation, the Wizard believes it will no longer eclipse his own. But the Wizard had underestimated the Torch's power, and Johnny is finally able to increase his flame enough to burn his way out of his cell. Now my flame is intense enough to burn through the asbestos. I'm free! The Torch confronts the Wizard at the scientist's house. Confident he knows all about the Torch's powers, the Wizard mockingly challenges him. I'm going to further prove my superiority by giving you a chance to save yourself, but you will not take it. In my hand, I hold several photographs. Oh God, what could these be? They are photos of me getting into my fire costume and flaming. They are proof that I impersonated you. But the only way you can get these pictures is by using your flame to kill me. And I know you'll not do that. The Torch's reply is unexpected, to say the least. I have powers you don't even suspect. I can make things move without even touching them. Ah, that's impossible. Nobody can do that. Watch and see for yourself. The pictures, they're floating out of my hand. Unable to cope with the idea that he had underestimated the Torch's power or with the fact that he has been defeated, the Wizard, utterly bewildered, surrenders. I challenged the Human Torch, and I lost. I'm beaten. God, that is a terrible beard. Ugh. Operators, give me the police. Johnny, of course, has no power to levitate objects. It was his sister Sue, the invisible girl, who made the photos seem to levitate. If you hadn't been around to take those pictures out of the Wizard's hand, he would have burned them. Then, I never would have been able to clear myself. Skip the thanks, Johnny. After all, Any other invisible gal would have done as much for her kid brother. The photos do indeed clear the Human Torch's name, and it is the Wizard who is charged with the crimes instead. But this is far from the end of the Wizard. His humiliation by the Torch would embitter him so that he would turn permanently to crime. He will fight the Torch time and again. Later, the Wizard would organize 2 other criminals, the Trapster and the Sandman, and the Inhuman named Medusa, into an evil counterpart of the Fantastic Four, the Frightful Four. It just said 2 other criminals. That's 3. What the hell, Wizard? The scene now shifts to New York State's Nassau County, at a time shortly after the Wizard's first defeat, where high school student Bobby Drake and his date have just seen one of their favorite old movies again at a local theater. I just never get tired of West Side Story, Bobby. Even though this makes the 3rd time I've seen it. Yeah, that Natalie Wood is something else. But I can't deny that seeing it with you made it even better, Judy. You know, even though we've only dated a few times, I already feel I know you better than anyone. It's like you're the only person in the world who really matters to me. Bobby, are you trying to say that you're in love with me? But alas, we are never to know Bobby Drake's answer, for at that precise instant, Bobby, look out! Oh! Get 'em, guys! We're gonna have us some kicks! Huh? Hey, not so rough, bug eye. Leave something for me to fight. After all, the idea of this thing is for me to show Miss Harmon just who the real man around here is. Rocky Beasley. I should have guessed. Hey, Rock, don't that sound like an insult? You reckon this punk wants to fight? Well, if he does, I'm just the man to crush his skull for him. But on second thought, it don't make no difference, cause we just came to get Rock's gal. Don't worry about that, bug eye. You just take care of that punk. Bobby, help me, please. I can't, Judy. Those guys will pulverize me. Unless... No, I mustn't use my mutant powers. I just can't. But I don't have any choice. I'll have to risk it. Get your hands off. Eee! One, he covered Rock with snow. He just tossed it from his hand. I don't know how he did it, but I ain't sticking around to find out. In one moment, Bobby Drake has irrevocably changed his life. Soon the whole town will know that he is a superpowered mutant. And Bobby, who will one day be the X-Men and X-Factor member called Iceman, will soon be in greater danger than he has ever been before. Next month, the amazing conclusion to Iceman's origin, also featuring Cyclops and Professor X, plus the origin of Iron Man, the origin of Odin and Asgard, the origins of Alicia Masters and her stepfather, the Puppet Master, plus Surtur, the Ant-Man, the Tomorrow Man, and much, much more. You don't want to miss Marvel Saga number 6. And that brings us to the end of Marvel Saga, the official history of the Marvel Universe number 5. Every issue just gets better and better, I swear. But I do have an issue with the constant spoilers, like a young boy brainwashed to believe himself to be Dr. Doom will pull the same move and destroy the Baxter building in space. But that will be in the future. So I'll only have an issue if that's something we actually will see in Marvel Sagas. But if it's not, then just disregard this tangent. I love that Namor had a change of heart and turned on Doom, mostly because his and Sue's life were in danger, but it did kickstart the road of forgiveness towards humanity. Marvel is really good with character development. Warren being so good at school that the boys had to literally point out his shoulder blades were abnormally big, which they looked fine to me, was really silly. Rick Jones is a great sidekick and support system for Bruce Banner, but he really did betray him for no good reason. And Rick knows how bad Ross wants to destroy the Hulk. But it's funny once Rick does start controlling the Hulk that he ends up going to his aunt's and to the circus to unwind. Which, going to the circus brings forth a new villain, the Ringmaster of Crime, which leads to the eventual capture of the Hulk to be his new sideshow attraction. This 100% would have had Ross all over him, I'm not gonna lie. Plus, once he's actually arrested, it made me wonder how many people were able to identify the Ringmaster, since he would wipe their memory after robbing them. but it did say they wouldn't remember being hypnotized, not robbed. I guess when they come to the conclusion that the Ringmaster must have took all their money during the show, which then makes me wonder why he left them all hypnotized to begin with, because the police were the one to snap them out of their hypnosis. Another surprise to me was Loki not being blue, and that goes for all the giants of Jotunheim. So far, I don't think they've been specifically mentioned to be frost giants just yet, but I could be forgetting. Also, why was Thor rocking the 80s rocker fit as a child? Loki being tossed back to Asgard on Mjolnir was hilarious to me. You know that had to hurt his pride. Next, Warren basing his name from the props he gathered being a nightgown and a wig is next level storytelling. Like, he had all these options and he purposely dressed like an angel. You think his face would be something that would give away who he is, but not in Marvel. Ant-Man's segment was really short and kind of just rehashed what we already know. Marvel Saga number 4 kind of explained his whole shrinking and growing back, keeping his normal strength. His segments so far have been dull, but he finally gets a villain just to have it wrap up extremely fast was underwhelming. But the fact it kind of intersects with the Four's next entry was satisfying. We're slowly connecting the hero stories. Also, this might be narrow-minded, but shrinking 5 billion inhabitants seems so out there, you know? I would have strapped the shrinking gas to one of the spaceships or a missile and shot it at the meteor to shrink it instead. Also, the Wizard is a unique villain, though he is very similar to Miracle Man with the lies of having powers, but still fresh enough to stand out. But he is mad ugly, Jesus. And let me add, aliens love visiting Earth. There has been so many visits by either conquerors or, well, all of them were invading except for the robot from Planet X so far, which is where a lot of aliens are from, right? I'm pretty sure Planet X is home to a lot of different races. And lastly, Bobby Drake didn't get much of a spotlight, but I did preview the next issue and he gets a good chunk of story dedicated to him, so don't worry. They didn't sleep on him. That brings us to the end of the video, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Comment below what you like and disliked, what I should do to better the quality, and if you like my voices for certain characters or if you hate them, let me know down below. I hope you come back for more and maybe subscribe for more comic videos. And until next time, that's all, folks.